Sure. Starting off with the mothers of the faithful. Hazrat Khatija. Hazrat Khatija, first wife of Holy Prophet, a twice widowed woman, and she was known as Tahira, the pure, even before Islam. She had three sons and daughter from the first two marriages and was one of the richest and noblest women of Makkah. She hired the Prophet to do her trade, and the Prophet's character impressed her as well. She proposed marriage, and the Prophet accepted. Prophet was वक़्त 25 years के थे and Khatija was 40, and all the Prophet children except Ibrahim were born to her. He bore four daughters and two sons to the Prophet, and only wife in whose lifetime Prophet didn't remarry. Gave all her wealth to the Prophet for Islam, and she was the one जो उनको वर्का बिन नौफल के पास लेके गई थी, and she consoled the Prophet after first revelation. She was the first person to accept Islam when he came home and stood by the Prophet against all opposition. She died after the boycott of Banu Hashim in 619, and the Prophet was greatly saddened. He called that year the year of grief or the year of sorrow. The Prophet said about Khatija, the noblest women in the world are Maryam and Khatija. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रेफरेंस है जो आपने हजरत खतीजा वाले में डाले हैं. देखो इतने पॉइंट्स होते हैं और क्वेश्चन 10 मार्क का होता है. इनमें से अगर आप दो दो पॉइंट्स एक एक साथ लिख दो ये आपको एक एक मार्क देते रहे. इस तरह करके यू कैन गेन अ लॉट ऑफ मार्क्स और एक मार्क्स आपको रेफरेंस के भी इधर से मिल जाएंगे. Aisha bint Abu Bakr. She was the daughter of Abu Bakr and very young at the time of marriage and the only maiden the Prophet married. She spent her youth years with the Prophet and learned a lot from the Prophet in his company as well. और इनको सबसे ज़्यादा educated और the most learned कहते थे क्योंकि बहुत सारे traditions जो थे वो हज़रत आयशा ने भी बयान किए थे. Served water to the wounded at Ohud and farewell हज के ऊपर भी आयशा ने इनको accompany किया था. Hypocrites of Medina also falsely alleged her. तो उस वक्त सूरह नूर के वर्सेस भी रिलीज हुए थे जिन्होंने इनको इनोसेंट साबित किया था क्योंकि इन पे बहुत से इल्जाम लग गए थे. Prophet spent his last days in her house. A very important point कि जो Prophet के last days थे before हिज्जतुल वदा वो हजरत आयशा के घर थे. Prophet was also buried in her house and taught Islam after the Prophet's demise. She narrated over 2000 ahadith जिनको हम 2000 traditions भी कहते हैं. And she clashed with Hazrat Ali during his caliphate as well. She stayed away from politics afterwards उस battle के बाद and was buried in Jannat al-Baqi. Jannat al-Baqi एक जगह है जहाँ पे very important family, closest companions यहाँ पे buried है. Hafsa bint Umar was the daughter of Umar bin Khattab and they migrated both to Abyssinia and Medina. Her first husband was martyred at Badr and the Prophet proposed to her and married her. Her knowledge is ranked second to Aisha and Hafsa was the custodian of the original manuscript of Quran जिसको हम क्या कहते हैं? मुसफ़िर
मुसफ़े हफ्सा.
हफ्सा. ठीक है. She kept in a large wooden box. जब कंपाइल हुआ था कुरान, ठीक है, ये भी आपके टेस्ट में आना. जब कुरान कंपाइल हुआ था ड्यूरिंग द टाइम ऑफ हजरत अबू बकर. हजरत अबू बकर ने जब कुरान कंपाइल करवा दिया था जैद बिन हारिस ने जो फाइनल एक प्रॉपर कॉपी थी उसको मुसफ़ अल हफ्सा कहते थे. फिर यही मुसफ़ अल हफ्सा की मजीद कॉपीज बनाई थी हजरत उस्मान ने द थर्ड खलीफा और वो सारे एम्पायर में डिस्ट्रीब्यूट की गई थी. उसके अलावा मुशरफ अल हफ्सा के अलावा जितनी कॉपीज थी उनको बर्न कर दिया गया था जिसके ऊपर बहुत क्रिटिसिज्म भी आया था. एंड शी वाज आल्सो नोन फॉर नरेटिंग 60 अहादीस. She died in 41 after Hijrat and instructed that all her wealth to be distributed among the poor. The Prophet said about it that she is the one who keeps fast during the day and who stands during the night for worship. Zainab bint Jash was the paternal cousin of the Prophet और ये सबसे पहले Prophet के adopted son जैद बिन हारिस से married थी लेकिन वो ज़्यादा successful नहीं रही थी इतने अरसे तक. जैद ने उनको divorce कर दिया था and then she was married to Holy Prophet commanded by the Quran. She rightly claimed to be the only marriage enacted by Allah himself क्योंकि इसके बारे में कुरान में जिक्र था इस marriage के बारे में that we joined her in marriage to you. Her title was Umme Hikam, mother of wisdom, very important. और ये वाला पॉइंट वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि ये एक ऐसी वाइफ थी जिनका कुरान में बताया गया था. She was known as one with a long arm for generosity. She narrated 11 ahadith and died in 20 after Hijrat. Maria Kiptia was also another important mother of faithful. बाकी जो इनके अलावा मैंने आपको यहाँ पे 6 पढ़ाई हैं जो बाकी हैं उनके भी मैं आपको नोट्स भेज दूँ वो बहुत रेयरली आज तक पास पेपर्स में नहीं आई हैं एक्चुअली. लेकिन कोई पता नहीं होता कैम्ब्रिज का 10% चांस है लिटरल 10% चांस कि वो वाली भी पूछी जाए तो उसकी फाइल भी मैं अभी अपलोड कर देता हूँ, वो मैंने पहले भी शेयर की थी। अब जो नए लोगों ने जिन्होंने ग्रुप ज्वाइन किया उनके लिए मैं दोबारा वो अपलोड कर देता हूँ। वो मेरे नोट्स है, उसके अंदर सारी वाइफ्स की बहुत डिटेल है। The prophet sent a letter to Al-Muqawqis, ruler of Alexandria, and Al-Muqawqis welcomed the messenger and heard his speech as well. He said he would not convert as they already have their own religion. He sent Maria to Medina with the messenger. जो वो मैसेज लेके जाता था प्रॉफिट का, उसके साथ उन्होंने मारिया को भेजा. Accepted Islam during her journey to Medina, and she gave birth to Ibrahim. Ibrahim died in his infancy, and Maria was greatly saddened. She lived 5 years after the Prophet, and Hazrat Umar was the caliph and invited all people to come pray her funeral as well. So she was also very much respected. She gave birth to Ibrahim. This is an important point, but Ibrahim already died in infancy, मतलब कि within 1 year. और ये कहाँ से आई थी, दिस इज ऑल्सो इम्पोर्टेंट, ये भी आपने मेंशन करना है, ये पास पेपर्स में आ चुकी है, ठीक है, तो ये इम्पोर्टेंट है. एंड दैट इज ऑल फॉर द इम्पोर्टेंट मदर्स ऑफ फेथफुल.